Good morning. So we have a couple of minutes till the scheduled start of this session. So I will take a moment to set up the room. Get yourself a cushion, if you like one for your knees, for when we're on our knees, and maybe some water nearby. This is going to be a fairly powerful flow, but I will give some suggestions in case you want to lighten it up. My eyes are probably looking dodgy because I can't remember where I'm supposed to look. I think right at the little white light. Okay, so get yourself ready, get your way and make your way onto your mat, and we'll get started. Microphone out shot a little bit. Good. Okay, so we'll begin the session with just sitting and some breath work. So if you come to sit in a comfortable seat, and that doesn't have to mean cross-legged, you can even sit in a chair if that's more comfortable for you. Rest your hands in your lap, let your shoulders relax, and when you're ready, close your eyes. Take a big in-breath through your nose, and then breathe out also through your nose. Do that a couple more times. And then return to your natural breath. And set an intention for this session. So it might be just to be working with your body and your breath, noticing the sensations. It might be to really tap into the power and the strength of this practice. Perhaps it's to mobilise and lengthen. Maybe it's just to get moving and have some fun. So whatever your intention is, just say it to yourself. And then open your eyes, clasp your hands. Have a big stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. And we'll come to stand at the top of the mat. You'll need your pillow or blanket if you want to use one. And I highly recommend, if you've ever had any knee surgery, knee issues, that to kneel on your knees, even if it was 30 years ago, to kneel on your knees, have a cushion or a blanket. Bring your big toes to touch, draw your tail underneath your crown, lengthen your neck, hands to your heart. I'll just take a moment as a disclaimer and say that I'm not sure what is left and what is right when it comes to YouTube, so I'm going to say right and I'll go left, just in case we're mirroring each other. So we'll inhale into mountain pose, hands together as high as they can go, disappearing out of the screen. Look up towards your hands, take a big in-breath. And as you exhale, bring your hands down towards your heart once more. So your thumbs are touching your chest, the middle of your chest. Take your backside backwards, keep your elbows wide and your back flat. Just go halfway until your chest's about parallel with the floor, and then look down at the mat and make your neck nice and long. Suck your belly button to your spine. This is gazing pose. Take an in-breath. And as you exhale, start to lower. You can soften your knees. We've only just started. Let your back relax. Let your arms hang. And tune into any sensations in the back, in the legs, the whole of the back body here. Then bend your knees a little deeper. Fingertips to the mat. Take your left foot back. Drop your left knee. On your fingertips then for Crescent Lunge. Lengthen your neck. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your backside to heels. Flex your foot. And look in towards your belly button. Inhale. Swing forwards. Look straight ahead. Exhale. Rock back. Don't forget to flex your right foot. Do that a few more times in your own breath. This is a Lovely stretch if you're a runner or a cyclist. And even if you're not. Try and breathe through your nose if you can. Okay, and so once you get forward into your crescent lunge, relax your back foot, sweep your hands up towards the ceiling. You can even clasp your hands, reach your index fingers up nice and high and slightly behind your ears. And look up towards your hands if you're feeling stable. If you're wobbly, look straight ahead. Take a big in-breath. And then as you exhale, drop your hands down onto the mat. Lift your hips. Perhaps hop your left knee slightly more to the center and tuck the toes under. Take your right foot back. And take a moment to line up your wrists under your shoulders. We're looking for a straight line from your heel all the way to the crown of your head. You can flex your foot or point your toes, entirely up to you. Take a nice long in-breath. And as you exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. So as you inhale, make sure that you don't arch your back. So we're not trying to make a banana shape, just making a straight line. Keep going. So you take the weight off your wrists, you can claw your fingers into the mat slightly to make sure that your back body's working. Really squeeze your glutes. We'll go one more time. Inhale. Exhale, drop the knee. Keep your toes tucked under if that's all right for you. Back side to heels. Slide your hands forward. Separate your fingers. Make sure your hands are about shoulder width apart and as far forward as they'll go. Again, spread your fingers, press your hands down, inhale, rise up onto your knees. Draw your shoulders over your wrists, bend your elbows and start to melt down. So this is not half plank, this is a melting, thighs and hips, then belly button and forehead. Squeeze your hands into, or your elbows rather, in towards your side. Push into the mat, rise up, and back into child's pose. Spread your fingers once more. Inhale, rise up onto your knees, lift your hips, and draw your heels to the back of the mat for a very satisfying downward facing dog. A little walk on the spot if that feels good. And I'm encouraging you to go slowly with this one. So I find that the slower I go on this stretch, the more effective it is on the back of the legs. Let's pause in a nice strong downward dog. So reach your heels to the back of the mat, your chest slightly towards your thighs, then circle your armpits in towards each other. Claw your fingers into the mat once more. Breathing through your nose. Now, if your feet are apart, draw them slightly closer together. Raise your left leg for three-legged dog and drive your left foot forwards. Drop the back knee. Let's find a hop or help the foot forwards. Onto your fingertips then, crescent lunge. Inhale. Looking straight ahead. Exhale, rock backwards. Inhale forwards. And exhale, look towards your belly button. A few more of these in your own time. And then all the way forwards. Lift your back knee and step your back foot forwards into a forward fold. And just hang here for a moment. Maybe you want to hug your backs of your legs, chest towards your thighs. And then relax your arms, bend your knees. Now, if you've got no back issues today, you can come up really nice and slowly. If you have got back stuff going on, flatten your back and sweep your arms up. Take the pressure out of your spine. Bring your hands together at your heart. Checking the time, see how we're doing. Good. Okay. Big toes touching. Inhale, squeeze your glutes together, suck your belly button into your spine. Draw your pelvic floor upwards. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Elbows wide. Backside backwards, chest forwards until you're parallel with the floor. Straight legs. Long neck, look straight down at the top of the mat. Next out breath, fold forwards. And again, feel free to soften your legs if that will feel nice to you. One thing you can do here, which helps to stretch the back of your legs, is alternately bend your knees. And if you're struggling to breathe through your nose at this point, you are not alone. Never fear, we're moving. Bend your knees, right foot back as far as it'll go this time. Drop the back knee. Relax the foot. Sweep the arms up because I forgot the low lunge last time. Clasp your hands together. Index fingers to the sky. Arms behind your ears and look up towards your hands. Drop your hands down. Bend your right leg and see if you can reach your foot with your left hand. So maybe you can reach your toes, your side of your foot, the inside of your foot. Maybe you can reach your trouser leg. So see what you can get hold of. And very gently ease your heel towards your backside. Don't need to hoik it in too quickly. You can take it nice and slowly. Keep your left hip closed. By closed, I mean that I want your knee and your hip to be in alignment. And if you look over your shoulder at the same time, you're also getting a nice twist in the upper back and the neck. Okay, slowly drop your foot. Tuck your toe under, hop your knee to the center, swing your left leg back, flex or point the toe. Take a big in-breath. Exhale, nose and knee to meet. Inhale to lengthen. So in your own time. At this point, if you can breathe through your nose, that's great. We'll go one more. Big in-breath. Drop the knee. Knees together, feet together, backside to heels. Stretch your arms forwards. Spread your fingers. Rise up onto your knees. That's an in-breath. Shoulders over wrists. Then bend your elbows towards your body. Lift your chin just a little bit and start to lower down. So you don't need to look at the ceiling, only to look straight ahead. Forehead to the mat. Tuck your elbows in. Press your pubic bone into the mat as you rise up slowly. Claw at the mat. And onto your knees. Then let's take downward facing dog. Once again, a little walk on the spot. A Sunday stroll. Feet together. Raise your right leg this time. Swing your foot forwards. Help it forwards if you need to. Drop your left knee. Relax the foot. So you can be on the palm of your left hand or the fist if that feels better. Bend your back knee. Let's see if you can reach hold of the foot, trouser leg, whatever's available. Icing on the cake is to look over your shoulder. Okay, gently drop your foot, palms to the mat, lift your hips, take a big step forwards, forward fold. If you like, you can grab hold of your elbows, just gently bob up and down. And then make your way to standing, squeeze your glutes, rise up in the way that feels best for your back today. And we'll all meet in standing prayer. And at this point, we're off the mat for a little while, so you can scooch your cushion out of the way. Bring your big toes to touch, tail under crown, hands to your heart. Inhale, hands up to the sky, and exhale, dive forwards. Slide your hands halfway up your legs, nice flat back, gazing pose. Inhale, exhale, fold forwards. Bend your knees, left foot back, drop the heel, walk your right foot to the right, swing your hands up to the sky, warrior one. Draw your tail slightly under your crown for a really nice stretch on the left leg. Take a big in-breath. With your next out-breath, take your left arm forwards and your right arm back. And if you can bear to, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, open out to the left this time. Try and keep your hips fairly still so you're moving at your waist. Turn your palms up, inhale up. Let's do that once more in each direction. So palms down on the out-breath, palms up on the in-breath. Squeeze the glutes, press your feet down into the mat. Open out to the left. Raise your hands up, inhale. Exhale, drop your hands to the mat. Hop your left foot to the center. Take your right foot back into the air for a three-legged plank. Now at this point, if you're going a little gently today, drop your foot and make your way onto your knees. Grab your cushion if you need to. We're going to do some Spiderman crunches. You can stay in plank if you like. So I'd like you to raise your right leg and tap the elbow with the knee. Then tap the inside of the elbow, the right elbow, and then tap the inside of the left elbow. Try and keep your shoulders over your wrists throughout. Raise your left leg. Let's do the same. Outside of the elbow, inside of the elbow. Tap your right elbow all the way back. Now for a gentle practice, you're on your knees. I'd like your shoulders to be over your wrists in a half plank. If you're going for a strong practice, let's have a high plank, belly button to your spine, push the floor away, then lower down with your elbows towards your body, claw at the mat. This is not all on your wrists, all the way down. Relax your feet, push into the mat, rise up, inhale, exhale, child's pose. Inhale onto your knees. Slide your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. With your next in-breath, let's take cow pose. As you exhale, contract into cat pose. Inhale to cow. And so on. Excuse me, one more in each direction. And then arrive with a neutral spine. Take your hands forward about the length of a hand. Tuck your toes under, hips to the sky, heels to the back of the mat. Feet together. Left leg up, three-legged dog. Let's go for split dog. So bend your left knee, point your knee up towards the ceiling and try and touch your left heel towards your right glute. Keep your shoulders and your wrists even. Rise onto the toes of your right foot if you're not already there. And let's drive the left foot forwards outside the left hand. Drop your right heel and rise up into warrior one. Draw your tail under your crown. Soften your shoulders. Take a nice big in-breath. And as you exhale, open out to the left, just like you did before, palms down. Scoop your hands up. Inhale. Exhale, open out to the right. Keep your hips facing pretty much forwards. Inhale up. So your movement is from your waist upwards. Exhale down. Your legs are cement. Press your feet down and towards each other to make them strong. Open out to the right. Sweep your hands up. Inhale. Exhale, drop your hands. Shuffle your left foot to the center. Bring your right foot to meet it. Forward fold. Make your way to standing on an in-breath. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, dive forwards. Right foot back this time for high lunge, or if you prefer, the gentler option is half warrior. So half warrior, knee on the mat, high lunge, knee off the mat. Excuse me. Draw your back heel backwards wherever you are, and your tail under your crown. Squeeze your glutes. Take your hands to your heart. Gently turn to the left. Keep your elbows wide. Lift your ribs and aim your armpit towards or outside of your left knee. Now, if that's not happening today, perhaps your elbows inside. Just be where you're at today, so don't worry about it too much. Keep your hands at your chest. If you like, you can open out. Take your left hand straight up to 12 o'clock and your right hand down outside your left foot. Now, if you're feeling sturdy, look up towards your top hand. Keep reaching your back, heel back, and don't forget to squeeze your glutes here. Engage your core by drawing your belly button to your spine. If your intention was power, keep squeezing the muscles of the legs, the feet, the abdomen. As you exhale, bring your left hand down. Let's put the hands either side of the foot. Pop your left foot to the center. No, your right foot, sorry, and swing your left foot back. So you're now in three-legged plank, or if you wanted to drop the back knee and you're in the supported warrior three. Spiderman crunches then. Left knee to left elbow, and back to the inside of the elbow, and to the inside of the right elbow. Woo! Drop the foot. Let's do the same on the other side. Right leg up, outside of the right elbow, inside, inside of the left elbow, all the way back. We'll hinge into downward facing dog from here. Next challenge, either half plank or full plank. So your full plank, you'll ripple forwards until shoulders are over wrists and hips roughly level with shoulders. For half plank, your knees are on the mat, but they're very far away from your hips, so making a diagonal line. Whichever one you're in, I'd like you to tap your nose to the mat and push back up and into downward dog. Feet together, right leg to the sky this time. Bend your right knee, open your right hip and tap your heel towards your left glute for split dog. Again, wrists and shoulders square. Now drive the right foot forwards and either drop your left knee or swing your arms up for high lunge. Woo, getting a little out of breath now. Bring your hands to your heart. Lengthen your spine, tail under crown. Turn to the right, lift and lean. Try and keep your right hip down and back, your left hip up and forwards. Look up towards your right shoulder, and if you like, open your arms out. Squeeze your glutes, your belly button to the spine, the pelvic floor. Reach your left heel back. Now drop your right hand to the mat. Let's step forwards. And make your way to standing with an in-breath. Exhale, hands to your heart. Feet together. Time for a standing balance now. I suggest you step back to the middle of your mat. And bring your big toes to touch, raise your left leg. And whether you want to point the toe or flex the foot makes no odds to me. Aesthetically, I find a pointed toe more pleasing. I'm going to take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Take your left arm behind you, straight back. Now, if you have the flexibility, you might grab hold of your left big toe. Make sure you're rising up away from the floor. So you're lifting up. That's the whole dynamics, looking up. And if you're feeling sturdy, look at your back hand. So by the way that I'm still looking at the screen, you can tell where I'm at today. Okay, bring your left hand to your hip. So whether you're holding your toe or your thigh, just let go. Both hands to your hips. Tuck your knee in, tuck your heel in, and step it back into warrior three. Nice and slow. Flex the back foot this time. Square your hips. Why flex your back foot? Because you're lengthening the back body. Bring your arms alongside your body. Lengthen your neck. So your left hip, I want you to draw it down and forwards. Let's bring our hands to the floor. Drop your left foot. Soften your knees and rise up to standing. And see your heart. At this point, a little shake of the legs. Feels good. Do the same on the other side then. Long spine. Lean into your left foot. Raise your right knee. So you choose pointed toe or flexed foot. I don't mind which, just don't want a floppy foot. So the whole of your body is in this practice. Left hand to the outside of your right leg. Right hand directly behind you, pointing at 6 o'clock. And then if you like, take hold of your right big toe. So if you are feeling sturdy, I wonder if I am, look at your back hand. Try and breathe through your nose and really squeeze your glutes here. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Let go of your thigh or your big toe. Tuck the foot in and send it back. Warrior three. Flex the back foot. Square up your hips. Arms alongside your body. Lift your heel. Your back heel, that is. Soften your left leg. Hands to the mat. Step your right foot forwards. And we'll swing all the way up on an in-breath. Hands to your heart. Good. Okay. Let's step to the top of the mat. Lengthen your spine. Soften your knees. Take a big step back with your left foot for warrior one. So we'll drop the heel down just a little bit further away from you than your toes are. Open your arms up. Open your hips as much as you can for a little warrior flow. Turn your left palm up, reach forwards, and up to 12 o'clock, take your right hand behind you towards your left thigh. Squeeze your glutes. Perhaps even draw your right arm slightly closer to your face. Relax your forehead. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Right forearm to right thigh. Swing your left arm down and open out. Squeeze your buttocks. Take your arms parallel to each other. Look up towards your left palm. And again, relax your forehead. Keep squeezing the glutes. Inhale, open out. Reach forwards. Then drop your right hand, just like you would for triangle, just in front of the thigh. Take your left hand up to 12. And then over for extended side angle. So you can open up, so we were just there, but this time, keep squeezing the glutes. So this is not a floppy kind of relax. This is a squeezing and reaching the fingertips of your right hand towards the floor. Maybe they're not there. Maybe you're there and then some. But what's important is that this is all working. If you can, look up towards your top hand. If you're able to bind, it's the right hand underneath, left hand behind you, look up at the sky. Now very gently, bring your hands to the floor, twist or pivot on the back foot, drop your hips, left palm or left fist to the mat, right hand to the sky, inhale. Drop your hand inside the foot and walk round into a nice, cozy, wide-angled forward bend and let your arms hang. Make sure your toes are slightly towards each other or your feet are parallel to each other. Just don't have your feet turned out. Clasp your hands at your tail. Straighten your arms and let your hands fall over towards the back of your head. So it's up to you. If you want to touch the heels of your hands for a stronger practice, you can do that. I actually don't find, personally, there's much difference or that it improves the experience. If anything, I get more of a stretch with the hands not touching. So have a play. Bring your hands back to your backside, down to the mat, and walk them over to the top of the mat, or the back of the mat, sorry. So just framing your left foot. Let's take all that in reverse. So spin round, drop your hips. Take your right palm to the mat, your left hand up to the ceiling. Now drop your left hand inside the left foot. Lift your hips and drop your right foot on the floor. And then open out into that lovely extended side angle. Or maybe even the bind. But again, don't sacrifice strength for stretch, because this isn't about making your muscles long and floppy or your tendons long and floppy. This is about making you mobile and strong. Okay, if you're binding, release, press into the back foot, rise up, warrior two. We'll reach forwards and all the way back, reverse warrior. Left hand up to 12, right hand behind you. Maybe bring your left arm towards your face. And then come back to warrior two. One last final warrior here. Left forearm to left thigh, right arm sweeps down, open out, look up towards your right palm. Squeeze your right glute over the top of your left glute, and then bring your arms parallel to each other. Cool. Press your feet down. Coming back into warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down inside your left foot. Spin round once more into your wide angled forward bend. Then walk your hands to the either side of your right foot. Pivot your foot round. Bring your back foot forwards. You're in a forward bend. Let's heel toe your feet so that they reach the edges of the mat with your toes turned out. Drop your backside for Yogi Squat. Hands to your heart. Lengthen your spine. Use your elbows to open your hips. Bring your hands to the floor. Lift your backside. Walk your feet in towards each other and rise up to standing with a big in-breath. Draw your tail under your crown. Take your arms forward with your palms down like a sleepwalker. Rise onto your toes. Squeeze your glutes and start to bend your knees. Keep squeezing the glutes and the thighs. We'll be lowering all the way to the mat unless you have any kind of knee hip or toe issues, in which case do not. Just make your way onto the mat. So if you can, keep squeezing the glutes and the thighs until you're in a crouch. Then reach your hands forwards and your backside backwards. Roll onto your back. And then all the way onto the mat, blissful. Feet to the mat. Make sure you can just about touch your heels and that your knees and hips are hip width. We're good and hot today. Okay, press your heels down. You'll feel your back immediately start to lift. Reach your knees forward. Squeeze your glutes. Keep pressing into the heels as though you're digging them into the mat and trying to slide them towards your shoulders. And that will create all the tension in your legs that you need. Your weight should be on your heels, your shoulders, and the back of your head, not your neck. To come out of this pose, lift your pelvis a little bit more and then lower down, vertebra at a time. Extend your left leg. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Now, aesthetically, I like a pointed toe on this one, but to be fair, flexing your feet actually gives you better practice. So you choose. Are you a ballerina today or a yogi? I don't mind because I can't see you. Just make sure the knuckle of your big toe and your little toe are equidistant from your chest, so you're not turning your foot in or out. You can hold the back of your leg, the back of your calf up towards your ankle, whatever feels good, but super important that your knee's not bent. So if you have to send it away and hold like so, then do that. So there's the point of this is the stretch in the back of your leg, and also try and keep the left hamstring as close to the floor as you can. Bend your right knee. You can, let's help the leg first. So just help your right leg to the right, bent knee, then drop your arm over the top. But don't grab hold of your ankle, just relax it. Keep your left foot flexed, and you can rest your left hand on your left hip. And take your arm underneath the leg, lift it up, drop the foot. Cross your left ankle over your right knee for supine pigeon. You can just gently take hold of your right hamstring or your right shin, or if you like to go a little deeper, you can straighten your right leg, but do make sure that you keep your backside nice and close to the floor. Some of my favorite is the shin, because then I can flatten my back down really easily. Okay, let's let the right foot find the floor. Uncross your legs. We'll take another bridge pose. Make sure you can still touch your heels, that your feet and knees are lined up with your hips. This time we'll take your arms with you as we rise. So press your heels down and towards you. And as your back starts to peel off the mat, inhale and take your arms all the way up above the mat. Squeeze your glutes. Keep squeezing the glutes and the heels towards your shoulders. It's really strengthening for your knees. Now raise your hips. bring your arms back down slowly. Good. Okay, lowering onto the mat. Now this time, extend your right leg. Squeeze your left knee in towards you. And then straighten up your left leg. Flex your feet or point your toes. So long as your left leg is nice and straight, hold it where it feels most comfortable to you. And make sure your feet are roughly square. Okay, gently bend your left knee. Open the hip. Place your left arm on top, palm up. Right hand on your right thigh, right foot stays active. So if you're asking yourself, should my left foot be flexed, pointed, or relaxed? See what happens. Point your toe. See how that feels on your body. Flex your foot. How does that feel? Relax your foot. Does it make a difference to what you're trying to do? And that's the whole point, is we're opening your inner thigh. And it's about just constantly asking yourself, what do I need to do to get to the juice of this pose? So I'm not going to tell you what I think you should do. You could probably see if you looked at me. But I think it's best if you feel for yourself. Okay, to come out of pose, take your arm underneath the leg and help the leg up. So there's no strain on the inner thigh. You just really stretch out. Drop the foot. Cross your right ankle over your left foot and really flex the foot. This is a must because you must protect your knee. If you don't, your knee's at an odd angle, and your body's not, it's all soft and liable to injury. So you want to be strong in the leg. Then perhaps hold your thigh, your hamstring rather, your shin, or straighten your leg. But whatever you do, keep your bum as close to the mat as you can. And let the left foot find the floor. Both feet to the mat. Bring your feet together. Clasp your hands underneath your head. And let your knees rock gently from side to side. It's a nice massage for your backside. Okay, we've got a couple of minutes, and actually I'd like to get into your shoulders. So from laying down, we're all nice and relaxed. We will rock up to sitting. We'll have a few practice rocks, which is very good for your spine. And rock all the way up to a comfortable seat. So it might be on cushions. At this point, even actually, it might be on a chair. It's your choice. Just make sure that you have a nice straight spine. And then extend your right arm and take it over to the left. Use your left forearm to draw your arm towards you. Relax your shoulder. Keep your right arm pretty well straight. Now very slowly, take your left hand to your right shoulder, your right hand to your left shoulder, and your left hand to your right elbow. Sorry. So this is your right hand. Lift your chin up, Lengthen your spine. Okay, then we got this. Gently release. Coming to the end of our time now. Straighten out your left arm. Reach it forward and over to the right and connect. I'm just thinking ahead now of what left and right is. Okay, so I'd like you to place your left hand on your right shoulder and your right hand on your left elbow. Lift up your chin a little bit so that you've got a straight spine. And then gently release. Chin down to your chest and draw a couple of circles with your nose, inhaling up. And change the direction. You're still inhaling up. Chin back to your chest. And then sit upright. Help your knees together. Swing round. Super important. So we're moving into Shavasana. I'd like you to have a lovely straight spine. So if you reach beyond your toes and keep that dynamic of reaching forwards as you roll down. Take it nice and slow. So that you can really get a sense of your spine rolling out onto the mat with lots of space between the vertebrae. Notice how your back feels. You can, if you're feeling good and groovy, you can just stretch out your legs. If your back's feeling really arched off the mat or tight in any way, bend your knees and let your knees support each other. And then if it's okay on your shoulders, arms by your sides, palms facing up. And take 3 big breaths here, lovely big nourishing in-breaths. And as you exhale, imagine that you're letting go all the physical and emotional and mental tension that you don't need. Do that 2 more times in your own time. And return to your natural breath. Notice the effects of your practice on your body. Or if you have an affirmation you like to use, this is a good point to call it to mind and say it to yourself. Or you could just say to yourself, everything is as it should be. And then bring your feet together, clasp your hands and stretch. Maybe point your toes or flex your feet, whatever you feel. And to make your way to sitting, either rock up to sitting or roll onto one side. Come all the way up. Lovely. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. Lovely to see you. Hope to see you again soon. And bear with me because I don't know where my specs are. There they are. Could be a while switching off.